everyone, it's Dee here. Thanks for coming along this week to our Creative Wednesday, Wildcard Wednesday, usually filmed at the Attenborough Arts Centre, which is Leicester University's Centre for the Arts, where they hold exhibitions, music events, theatre events, dance events. Watch this space, soon to be open later in the summer. Hopefully you'll get a chance to visit it at some point over your time at university. Well worth checking it out. They've got a lovely shop there, and of course lots of creative courses, and that's where I teach my Wildcard Wednesday. So when we get round to doing live events, we'll either be there or I might come and do something at the somewhere in the university, but that's to be arranged. Anyway, you'll have got your creative boxes delivered directly to your halls of residence. Something a little different this week. Well, it's different every week actually, but anyway, we'll do this one together. My advice, the extras you'll need: water. That should be the only thing that you need extra. Everything else will be in the box. Now, this lesson, obviously, you don't have to copy me. You don't have to copy the shapes that I do, but that's entirely up to you. You'll find the materials in your box. You make your own choices, and I'll just give you, kind of guide you with the ideas behind the project, but obviously you make it your own. Because everybody's got slightly different materials in their box, so you'll make it your own anyway. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to switch the camera around and we'll open up the box and see what's in there this week, shall we? Okay, let's have a look then, shall we? So here's our lovely box. There's my water on the side. Let's open up and have a look. Oh ho ho! How exciting. So in your box this week, you will find one black sheet of paper and then a whole assortment. Of course, every box is different. You've got a different assortment of feathers. You've got a different assortment of coloured papers. You've got a different assortment of tissue papers. You've got a different assortment of thicker card papers. Lots of colours. We've got some fantastic mixed picture card. Well, it's card, paper, decorative. And look, there's got different pictures on the back of each thing, which is so exciting. I mean, we're going to have great fun with this project. Wonderful pictures on both sides, so you've got loads of choice. A pot of glue and a glue stick. Oh, in that case, we don't actually need the water. I take that back. I'm getting beside myself. We don't need the water at all. Sorry about that. Oh, and what's this? I see a handful of sparkly sequins. Now, as usual, I've given you more than you're going to need. So if you want to do this project afterwards, you can, but you don't have to. I mean, what I mean is you can do what we're doing today, but if you've got lots of materials left over, obviously you can do another one as well. We're going to use the box for this project, so let's take it apart. Oh, hang on a minute. I know what I've forgotten to put in. You will get in your box, hold on, you will get some scissors. Sorry, you will get some scissors. Let me just grab some scissors. You will have some scissors. These are obviously ones I've used before. You'll get some new ones. I'm going to use my own. Right, So let's get down to business. Let's open up your box, she says. You should be able to open it up quite easily. I don't know why I can't. I put the boxes together. I should be able to undo them, shouldn't I? Get out of it. Brute force, that usually works. Okay, there we go. Right, now then. At this point, you need to decide how big you want your picture. I think that I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to use a section like this square here at the top. So I want to cut along this line and cut off the tabs. So I'm going to turn it into a square shape. If you get your scissors, we'll cut along this line to begin with. And then I want you to cut your tabs off so that you're giving yourself a square to work on. So basically we're going to create an abstract picture. It's going to be like a sort of mosaic type picture with all the papers that you've got. It's abstract, it's random, and I want you to just have fun with all the colours and the textures and the different materials that I've put in the box this week. So it's really a free-for-all. It's entirely up to you. As I said, you can copy elements of what I'm doing, but we probably won't have the same papers, so it won't be exact. Now, I want you to keep these tabs, and I want you to cut some more tabs off the box. So these ones, cut these off. And these. Cut all the little tabs off. You can always go back and cut some more off if we run out. That'll do for now, I think. I'm going to put that to one side. This you can put to one side for now. And we're going to start with these little bits and bobs that we've got. I think I want you to cut these shapes in half. And these. So yeah, we're going to kind of do a mosaic sort of paper montage, as it were. Now what I want you to do is get your glue. We're going to get our glue sticks and we're going to cover these shapes with the glue. I haven't given you any plastic gloves. If this gets really messy, this project, I might put some gloves in. So if you find some in the box, then I've changed my mind about that. But it's quite nice not to have all that plastic going on. I mean, we've got a plastic this spatula thing. That's enough. I'd rather go not have to put plastic gloves and plastic apron in every week. Because it's, yeah, it just seems a bit of a waste sometimes. So that's my first shape. I'm going to randomly select. Now what I've got to decide is I'm going to, oh, I just can't resist these. I just cannot resist these. So I'm going to put that over it like this. Just stick it on. Okay. Put that to one side. Get another piece. Spread your glue around. Right to the edges. Let's have another piece. Let's go I want that piece with the snowflakes. So obviously, as I said before, we've all got different papers. So there's no right or wrong way of doing this. I've never done this before. This is the first time I'm doing this. I'm just using my imagination as we go along. So that's why it's totally up to your own interpretation. There's no rules. You can do exactly what you like. But what I did think was I would put these patterns, these pattern papers with the leaves and grasses and stuff, I'd put those on these shapes to begin with. Oops. Because as I'm working, I'm kind of forming an idea in my head as to how I want the end picture to look. So I'm going to work my way through all of these shapes. So obviously I've given you lots of different pieces. What have I got here? So if I turn those up, I've got a red, I've got a white. I think I'm going to use that green, although that's, oh, choices. Which one? I quite like this one. I'm going to just pop that on the back again. That just so happens to almost exactly fit. And then I'm just going to tear that piece like that. So I've got that. Okay, so let's just carry on doing this together. I really hope you enjoy doing these. I really enjoy experimenting with all these different materials. I mean, it's a challenge for me. Most of the time when I'm doing these with you, you know, I'm thinking up ideas each week for you. I'm constantly inspired by things I see and creative activities, and I'm always thinking up new ideas of things we can make together. And of course, you know, they've got to be achievable, they've got to be fun, and, you know, basic, very basic materials. We haven't got anything fancy going on here, not really. Let's have a look. So I'm putting these here. These are the ones I've stuck. Quite like that. The tiny little pebbles on the beach. I'm going to go that. Stick it on there. Put that up there. Ooh, there's a sequin. I might not even use all of these materials I've given you. I'm just going to see what occurs as we go along. But at least you've got the choice. You know, if you haven't got the things, you can't choose them, can you? So how many pieces have I got? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we'll probably, well, that's more than enough. So the idea behind this was to make something nice that you can, I was going to say put on your wall, but as, you know, in the past, like last week, we did a wall candle sconce, and then I soon realised that you can't put things on your wall. So this is, again, something that you can stand up on your desk, put somewhere, prop it up in your room. Oh, see, that's quite nice, that green. Oh, that's very pretty too. Let's see what's on here. That's those leaves. Oh, I know what we haven't got. Let's have this one. I'm trying to get sort of diverse colours. Let's have this lovely bright, oh, yellows. No, I'll go oranges. Orange is my favourite colour, so will it fit there? Yes, it will. I'm going to do it like that. I love these papers so much that, oop, oh, that's rubbish. I've given you enough, so if you want to do another picture, you can. That doesn't matter about that. That's going to go there. So making a nice little, if I pull these in a bit, you can see I've got these colours in front of me. Lovely. So I've got kind of neutral beige, pinky orange, greens, white and beiges and yellows. Have I got anything with blue on? Yes, I've got a piece here. Well, it's quite pretty, but I quite like that blue. So I'm going to get a square. Oop. Okay, let's put the blue on. Let's use it like that. I suppose you could just use the scissors and cut that actually instead of tearing it. There. That's quite a nice little diverse colour palette I've got there. I'll put these spare bits to one side for now, and I'd like you to bring back in your original square of card. Let's move those out the way for now. And I think what we're going to do on this is I want you to put on all the plain colours like this. So I thought we could just, I mean, you can cut these up. I think we're going to cut them. I'm going to cut them just up into random shapes, but I'm going to keep them as squares. Squarish. These blocks of colour. Might do a couple that are like this. Long strips. Oh, I love this blue. So at this stage, like you, I have no idea what the end result is going to be. Let's hope it's nice. Let's hope we like it, eh? Okay, that's fine. I want to save the black. Don't use the black. You'll see why later. So let's get these off. And we're going to start gluing them down. So let's start with our orange. I might just snip a little bit off because I want to do a layer, but I could do some tissue as well. So I'm going to start doing my block colour next. Let's bring the glue in. Doesn't matter if you drip the glue onto the board because we're going to be putting the layers on there anyway. This is funny. It reminds me of, somebody said I'm like the Bob Ross of the craft world. Have you seen Bob Ross at all? He's this guy on, I think they have it on BBC 4. And he teaches you how to do paintings, you know, really kind of like a basic materials, a couple of different paintbrushes and paints. And then he does all these tips and tricks on how to do trees and sunsets and all that. And I'm like that with my crafting ideas. Okay, let's just pull that right to the edge. Oh, they're typical of me. They're all underneath it, aren't they? Oh, this is what I'm like, you see. Total chaos. That's why I couldn't find the scissors. You know what happened? I tidied up my studio this week. Can't find a thing. Can't remember where I put anything. Best tip, don't bother tidying up. Leave everything in total chaos and then you know exactly where it all is. Organised chaos, that's how I like to work. My husband comes in and says, your studio's such a mess. I say, it's organised chaos. I know where everything is on the whole. As soon as I start tidying up, disappears. It's out of sight, out of mind. Leave it in front of me. It's fine. I know exactly where to find everything. So I'm going to put these in blocks like this. I'm going to start kind of overlapping some shapes. just playing about. No set rule, no idea. I think I might pull that one in a little bit more though. Yeah, no, I think I'll do that there, that one on the edge. So I've got to make sure I've got enough of this thicker card to cover the whole of the background. Oh, I suppose I could have put the glue straight onto the brown card as well, but then when I'm overlapping it wouldn't be sticking, so I'm going to put this here right on the edge. It's just overlapping that orange a little bit. Let's have some green in the corner down here like that. Oop. I'm being quite mean with my glue because I want it to last, because I want to build up lots of layers. Like that. Let's have a strong glue. Hang on, what have I got? Oh, this is a bit thinner, this paper, but I might use that. Is that the same colour green? Yeah, it is. I'm going to get my red. So I want you to just cut up what I've given you. I mean, I have given you a random selection. I'm not exactly sure what is in each box. Hopefully you'll have enough. If you haven't got enough card, use some of the tissue, or like this piece is a thinner paper, but it doesn't really matter because you're just sticking it down. It's the colour block that we want really. Just lift that up, I don't want it stuck. Not yet. Okay, I want that one over here in this corner. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to put some blue here. So just go wild, do exactly what you want. You don't need to copy me. You feel free if you want to. Just mess about with the colours, these colour blocks. I'll put that one there like that, overlapping, slightly sort of overlapping each other a little bit. Let's use this stronger pink, pinky red. Put that there. I think we'll have some more green. I'll put that there, I think. What have we got? I'm going to cover this now. I'm going to cover this with the glue because I want this bit to be covered up basically. So we're going to be doing multiple layers, so it doesn't matter if I'm going to get that green and do a bigger piece there like that. And then one last bit, I'll do that blue. and I'm going to pop that there like that. Okay, and there we have that's going to be our background. Set that to one side. Now I want you to bring in these pieces. Ooh. And what I think I'm going to do now, because I've got all angles and squares and oblongs on this, I'm going to make these softer and rounder and odd shapes. So I'm going to now I'm going to turn it this way up so I can see the card. I'm going to randomly start cutting up. I want curved shapes because I want to be able to contrast with the angular shapes on top. You can draw, if you've got a pen or a pencil, you can draw some shapes on the back and then cut round them. But I'm going to go freestyle, which is what I like to do best. And I'm going to cut some random shapes. Like this. Now, once we start getting these shapes together and you get an idea of the picture that you're going to create, you can always use some more of the brown box to cover with some of the paper that we've got. So I'm just randomly holding it, cutting round shapes. Like this. I suppose what you could do is also you could draw a shape on here that we're going to fill with these pieces, but I'm going to go freestyle on that. I'm going to fill them in as we go along. So what I want now is I'm going to do this one I'm going to cut long, and I'm going to make some smaller shapes. I'm going to just trim those edges off. Kind of like a barrel shape. Cut that like that. And I've got some more of that. Good. Love those colours. Let's do this again. So you can even use the little random bits that we've shaving off. See, I don't like it when I've got those sharp edges. I like a nice curve like that. And then this one, oh, only see that's a scrap. That's what I'm after. That one. And that one. The green, turn it over. Oh, I tell you what, I might do some long, thin strips with these. So they are almost like petals, using the green as a petal, like that. bit more of that. Let's do some shorter ones now. Turn it on its side. I might leave one end flat. Where did I go with that? And then I'm just going to do freestyle shapes here. I'll do a larger shape. Okay, let's just trim that. And discard all your little scraps. And I want you to continue with the rest of the pieces that you've got until we've cut everything up. Okay, so I finished cutting all my shapes, those lovely pieces up, and I'm going to bring back in this. So what I want you to do now is we're going to pour on some glue, and then I'm going to spread it around. I mean, these, this background, that's really what it is. It's you're not going to really see much of this, but you'll get a little glimmer of it coming through the shapes that we're going to sit on top. So that's why we've done that background. I did think about putting a pot of paint in for you to paint the whole thing, but I didn't really want to get any paint in the project this week. I wanted it all to be about paper and embellishments, so that's why I've done this without any paint. We've got the glue and that's about it. So I'm just going to spread that out. I might put more on around the edges in a bit, but I'm not intending for the picture to go right to the edges, these shapes. We'll see what happens when we get going. Okay, so we've covered the whole thing with the glue, and I've left about 1 inch around. Okay, so I made one really big shape, and I'm going to set that in the middle. And then I'm going to start building up my picture with the shapes. There's no set pattern or rhythm to this. I'm just going to make it up as I go along. I'm going to fit the pieces in around each other. I'm thinking a little bit about the colours that I'm adding and how they sit together. And I might get my scissors and cut some other shapes in so they fit like this. There's a little gap there, I want that to go in. That one I'm going to put there. That one I want there, sitting there. And I'm just going to kind of fill in these. I find this quite relaxing, this bit. It's like it is a mosaic, really. I'm going to just cut that because I want that little bit to go in there. I might put that bit in there. No, there's already some green there. I'm not going to set that by the side of it. Oh, I haven't used these. That's quite nice. I might slice this one down the middle because I can see it would fit quite nicely. Let's pop it here and up here. Then I've got these little pieces. I'm going to sit in there. No. Oh, yes. It's like doing a puzzle. Oh yes, that bit does fit there. Perfect. Now, what I want you to do is we're going to get some of these lovely sequins and I'm going to just drop them in. So again, I want you to get your glue and we're going to, I think what I might do is just drop some into some of the gaps like that, and I'm going to sit a sequin in. Once the glue's dried, the sequin will stay there because this glue is super strong. Oh, that's a nice one. Ooh, okay, you want to go there? That's fine. Doesn't matter if you get the glue on top because it dries transparent anyway. Oh, they're really hard to pick up. How strange. Let's put a few blobs around so I can love those little green ones. Again, I'm not sure what you'll get in your random pack mix, but hopefully you'll get a few of these colours. Let's put a green one up here. Let's have another flower here. Bigger flower. And a bit of colour over here, a bit too much green on that side. And one more, I think here. It looks a right mess at the moment, but it will come together, I promise, she says. Let's have one more here. Now, where are those feathers I had? Buried deep down. I'm going to put a feather, I think, up here. Do I want a feather? Ooh, that might look quite nice just there. Yeah, let's get a bit of feather in. Why not? she says. Oh, I want to get a bit of glue on there. Everybody loves a bit of feather, don't they? Oh, that's great. That's perfect for that side. I really want that to kind of go round. I didn't put enough, I don't think I gave myself enough feathering in my box. I'm not going to use the tissue. It's just not working for me today, tissue, I'm afraid. So I'm not going to use it. But if you want to, feel free. Yeah. I'm going to leave that for now. And we're going to leave that to dry off. So put it somewhere warm, or get your hairdryer out and start hairdryering it before we go on to the final stage. Okay, so the next stage is we're going to use the black paper. So put it to one side for now and bring back the rest of your box. And I want you to, we're going to cut down these two flaps now. Cut this piece off here first. And the other side, now it's got an extra wing on it, the other side. So let's just cut that wing off. Like that. And we're going to cut this. Okay, then I want us to cut down the middle roughly of these two pieces. So if you can measure it with a ruler if you want, or you can freestyle it like I usually do. And same on this one. Okay, so you've got your 4 strips, which are all same thickness. It's a miracle. Are they? Let's just put that one. That one's a little bit thicker. Let's just take that one out and trim a bit off. I'll trim that slightly wobbly edge. I've probably made it worse now. Right. So let's get our black piece of paper. Let's lay these down. Actually, I'll tell you what, we'll put glue on these next. Open up your glue and glue one side of your card. Doesn't matter too much about the ends. So I've glued them all. And now I'm going to stick them on. I suppose we could just stick them all on there, couldn't we? I think they'll all fit. Actually, no, we're going to do it that way because we haven't glued the ends of our card, have we? Just leave a little gap in between each one so you can cut down in between like that. turn it over. Push those down. Right, now we're going to cut them. Just trim them to begin with, and then we'll tidy them up. And that last one. So this last one I'm going to trim close to the edge. And we're going to do that with all of them. Oh, and then I'll turn it over and trim that. Now we probably will have to cut these down again, but we'll take the what we can see off for now. Trim off those ends. And here. And ends. And then the last one. Okay, so you've got your 4 pieces on the card. We're going to get rid of all those bits and bring back in our abstract collage. Now we're going to place these on here and we're going to see where we want them to go. It will cover up my feather a little bit. I want to pull it in so that they're lined up. That's obviously something we're going to have to think about, isn't it? Can't see the feathers at all anymore. Hey ho. I'm quite happy with that. I want the edges to line up, so I'm going to trim it down. So you can place this wherever you like. So if you want to move it over, I think what we'll do is, hang on a minute, maybe if I, oh, hang on, that's probably better. If we put those on there. No, it doesn't make any difference. We're going to lose a feather. I should have thought about that when I was putting the pieces on, but I didn't. So let's glue these down. Let's glue the top and bottom down. We're going to put our glue on right to the edges this time. Okay, and then I'm going to put that to the edge of my picture and press down hard. And then I think what I'll have to do is when I've finished, I'm going to put this under some heavy books so it presses it flat. Stay. Oh, just about enough glue. I suppose what I could have done is put the card on the long way round on the paper instead of the short way across. That's something you could think about doing. Instead of laying them across the A4 piece, lay them the other way around, and then you'll have longer strips. I didn't think it was this. Oh, I tell you what I'm going to do there. I wonder if I can pull that out. Hang on, what I've got to do is I want this to sit here. So, if I can pull that feather off. Oh, ouch. I can. Can I pull that one off? Oh, I can. Hurrah, huzzah. I'll take those off. Oh, ow. Yeah, brilliant. Right, that's not so bad. Now, which was one I put glue on? That one. Right, so I'm going to lay this one on top of that piece I've just put down, and I'm going to squash it flat. Don't worry about this because we can trim that edge off. Then I'm going to do that one. No, I'm not going to do that one next. Right up there. I'm sure you'll do a much better job of this than I'm doing. I seem to be making a bit of a hash of this bit. That's what happens when you haven't done a project before. But hey, we're all in this together. That's what that means. We can all have our own individual creations, and I'm sure yours will be looking completely different to mine in a good way. Let's pop that one on there, up there, and then I do want to get, do you know what? Oh, it's stuck now. Where's my last one? I suppose it doesn't really matter because you can't see it. Quite fancy having this one underneath there, like that. That's it. So I'm going to put my glue on here, the last piece of the frame. Whoop. I was thinking maybe you could put these on your wall with some kind of tape, but I know those walls in halls of residence are an absolute nightmare. I'm sure they put some weird special paint on, which means that nothing sticks to it. So you can't stick anything on your wall and you can't put any nails up. You're destined to live in a completely plain, bare room for a year. I remember both my children at university had the same issues. There, right. I suppose it would have been better if that had been... Nope. I'd like to have had that underneath that one, but I've stuck it now, so it'll have to do. Again, think about that when you're doing it. So there we have that. Let's pull that bit out a little. Oh no. And you could, let's get that feather on now. Because what I quite like is, I'd quite like to have that sort of sticking out over my frame. In fact, I'm going to put those three there together. Don't forget they will dry clear, so it doesn't matter if you get a bit on. Now, as I said, I'd put this under something heavy so it really dries flat. Before we do it, I'm just going to trim off my edges. I'm just going to cut along there. And don't forget, you don't have to have a square frame. If you're incredibly creative and good at working these things out, you could do a circular piece with a circular frame, or just something that's a different shape, or a heart, a a flower, something like that. It doesn't have to be square. And it's, yeah, trim that up a bit more. So I'm going to put that under some books, and I just discovered that I've got a couple of little, oh, that's quite nice too. Oh, I think I'm going to do that. If you've got any sequins left, I might put those on the frame down here. I've only got two, I just happened to find them on the table. Okay, let's move that out of the way. So there we have our framed collage abstract picture. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm going to just turn the camera around now so I can talk to you, see you. Right, so here we are. I hope you've enjoyed that. Let's have a look at it. Ta-da! I think that's quite cheerful. Yes, I'd have that standing up in my studio. But what I wanted to say about this project, and probably any of the others that I do with you, it's not so much about the finished product, whether you like it or not. I mean, obviously that's really important, but for me, it's about the process of being creative, using your hands, using your imagination and letting your mind wander and drift in and out so that you don't have to think about university or anything really. You can just indulge yourself while you're doing the project. And that's one of the wonderful things about doing anything creative, is that you can just lose time. I spend most of my life feeling lost. No, I don't mean it like that. I don't feel lost. What I mean is it takes you into a different place when you're being creative. Your mind switches off. And when you're feeling stressed and anxious and worried about things, that special time to be able to switch off and just be in the moment and make something creative using your hands and some very simple materials is really important. And I hope that you get something out of these classes. I know I do. I really enjoy them, and I enjoy teaching them in a live situation as well. So yeah, thanks for coming along. So what is it I always say? Stay safe, stay well, and stay creative. Until the next time, everyone. Thanks for joining me. This is Dee saying bye.